Hello everyone, this is Itisha Joshi. Welcome to the Biochem Bay channel where you can find all the lectures on topic of biochemistry. And here if we continue on our series of carbohydrate biochemistry lecture, this is the third video of the lecture series. The topic is monosaccharides. So without further ado, let's get started. We are going to study the classification of monosaccharides. Okay, so the monosaccharides are the simplest of the carbohydrates. Monosaccharides are the simplest forms of carbohydrates, right? Since they contain only one polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketone unit. If we see the structure of glucose, it is the single molecule, that's why it called as monosaccharides, right? It only contains one polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketone. Polyhydroxy meaning there are many hydroxyl groups on that molecule, and a functional group are either the aldehydes or the ketones, right? Okay, next, monosaccharides are classified according to the number of carbon atoms they contain. So how can we classify the monosaccharides? We generally classified on the basis of two things. First one is the number of carbon atoms monosaccharides have. So if the monosaccharide are containing 3 carbon units, then we can call it as triose sugar. If the carbon numbers are 4, then we can call it as tetrose sugar. If the 5 number of carbon present, then we call it as pentose sugar. And if the 6 carbon atoms present, then we call it as hexose sugar. So triose, tetrose, pentose and hexose all contain 3, 4, 5 and 6 carbon respectively. Next, the presence of an aldehyde is indicated by the prefix aldo, right? So if the functional group or the first group is CHO or aldehyde, then we give prefix aldo. And if, let's say for example, the number of carbons are 3, then what can we call? Aldo triose. If the number is 4, then aldo tetrose. So before the number or triose tetrose, we give prefix aldo. Similarly, if the functional group is ketone, then we give prefix keto. So therefore keto triose, keto tetrose, keto pentose, keto hexose. If aldose is present, aldehyde is present, then aldo triose, aldo tetrose, aldo pentose, aldo hexose, etc. Then examples. Classifying monosaccharides. So here are 4 examples given, and we have to classify that monosaccharides. So in the first one, how many carbon is there? 4 carbon, right? So it is a tetrose sugar. And what is the functional group? Here ketone is present on the second carbon. C double bond O is ketone, right? So what can we call? Keto tetrose, right? First you have to see the functional group, and then you have to see that how many number of carbons are present. So first one, the functional group is ketone, so ketose prefix would be there, and then there are 4 number of carbons are present, so we can call it as keto tetrose. Okay, now in second molecule we have the functional group of aldehyde on the first carbon, and the total number of carbon present are 4. So we can give a name as aldo tetrose. First one is keto tetrose, and the second one is aldo tetrose. Now the third molecule, again it has a ketone group, and the total number of carbon present are 5. So we can call it as keto pentose. Okay, and the last molecule, the functional group is again aldehyde, and the total number of carbons are 5. So aldopentose, right? So ketotetrose, aldotetrose, then ketopentose and aldopentose. Okay, you have to practice that, right? Then we can see the glucose structure, right? So glucose have basically 6 carbon, so aldohexose. Okay, then ribulose have ketone group as a functional group, so ketopentose, because it has the 5 carbon, right? So thus glucose is an aldohexose. Why can we call that as aldohexose? Because the aldehyde is a functional group and it has 6 carbons, and ribulose is a ketopentose. How can we call it as ketopentose? Because it has ketone as a functional group and 5 carbon in total, right? So glucose is aldohexose and ribulose is a ketopentose. Okay, next. Now first we will look at aldose sugar, then we'll look at the ketose sugar. So first we are going to classify the aldose sugar. Okay, so in the aldose sugar we have aldotriose, aldotetrose, aldopentose, aldohexose, 4 classes. Okay, so in aldotriose the number of carbons are 3, total number of carbons. Okay, in aldotetrose the total number of carbons are 4. In aldopentose the total number of carbons are 5. In the aldohexose the total number of carbons are 6. Okay, so the family of D-aldose. Okay, now we are only looking at the D form, but we are not going to look at the L forms. You have to imagine that. So how can you imagine? So first let's see the D-glyceraldehyde molecule, the very first one. Okay, it is the aldotriose. Okay, because similarly it has the 3 carbon. Okay, and we are going to look at the aldose. So obviously all the forms here we are going to look, there are containing the aldehyde group as a functional group. Okay, so all the groups have aldehyde. Okay, so first is a triose because it has 3 carbons, so we call it as D-glyceraldehyde. You have to remember all the names. Okay, so D-glyceraldehyde. So here 2 raised to 1 is equals to 2. Now what is that? You remember the 2n rule that we are discussed in the formal lecture? So it is basically the 2n rule. Now what is 1? So here n meaning the number of chiral carbons present in the molecule. So what is chiral carbon? So you have to remember all the terminologies and the concepts that we are just looked in the formal lecture. So if you somehow miss that video, I will put the link in the I button. You can click on that I button and watch that videos, right? So first take a look at those 2 videos that I have made. Okay, then come to these lectures, so it is easier to understand for you, right? So here the number of chiral carbons are only 1. There is only 1 chiral carbon is there. So 2 raised to 1 is equals to 2. So glyceraldehyde molecule has 2 stereoisomers. Okay, so what are they? So first one we are looking at the D-glyceraldehyde, and the second one would be L-glyceraldehyde, right? L-glyceraldehyde would be the mirror image of this form. So all the things remaining the same on the first and third carbon, but in the second carbon the OH group will be on the left side and hydrogen group will be on the right side. So L form is generally mirror images of the all groups. Only so that's why we are only going to look at the D forms but not the L forms. Okay, so 2 raised to 1 is equals to 2. Then we have 2 forms, D-glyceraldehyde and L-glyceraldehyde. So here we completed the aldotriose. Okay, then we are going to look at the aldotetrose. Okay, aldotetrose meaning as name suggests, it has aldehyde group obviously, and the tetrose meaning it has the 4 carbons. Okay, So 4 carbons, and out of 4 the number of chiral carbons present would be 2. How can we identify that how many numbers of chiral carbons are there? So if the total number is 4, then 4 minus 2 would be 2. Okay, so we have to minus that functional group carbon and the last carbon, CH2OH carbon. So in the tetros, 4 minus 2 would be 2. So 2 number of chiral carbons are there. So out of total number of carbon, you have to minus 2, and the remaining number would be the number of chiral carbons present. So if we are going to look at the hexose sugars, then in the hexose sugars there are 6 number of carbons are present in total. So 6 minus 2 would be 4. So 2 raised to 4 would be 16. So hexose sugars have 16 isomers. Okay. But in the pentose, the total number of carbons are 5. So 5 minus 2 would be 3. So 2 raised to 3 would be 8. So total 8 number of isomers present in the aldopentose sugar. Okay. So that's how you can calculate the number of isomers present. Okay. So in the aldotetrose, there are 4 number of carbons present, and 4 minus 2 would be 2. So 2 raised to 2 would be 4. Okay. So total 4 numbers of stereoisomers are present of the aldotetrose sugar. So first one is D-erythrose. In the D-erythrose, on all the chiral carbons, the hydroxyl group present on the right side. Okay, you have to remember all the structures. Right, so in the D-erythrose, in all the chiral carbons, the hydroxyl group present on the right side and hydrogen atom present on the left side. Okay, in the L-erythrose is the mirror image of D-erythrose. So all hydroxyl group will be on the left side and hydrogen on the right side. Okay, so it will be the 2 isomers, right? Then the third one is the D-threose. Here we are only going to look at the D forms. You have to imagine the mirror image, then it would be the L form. Okay, so we are only going to discuss the D forms. So the D-erythrose, and the second one is D-threose. So the second one is D-threose. So in the D-threose, the second carbon, on the second carbon, the hydroxyl group present on the left side. So from the total number of chiral carbons are 2, but in the second carbon, the hydroxyl group present on the left side. Okay, and in the mirror images of that, the hydroxyl group would be on the right side in the L-threose. Okay, so how to remember these structures? In D-erythrose, all the hydroxyl on the right side. In D-threose, the hydroxyl on the second carbon on the left side. Okay, now we are going to look at the aldopentose sugar. So as name suggests, pentose meaning total 5 carbons are there and aldehyde functional group is there. So there are 4 sugars are there: ribose, arabinose, xylose and lysose. Now all 4 sugars have now these 4 sugars are in the D form. Similarly we have in the L form. So total number of isomers would be 8. But here we are only going to look at the D forms. Okay, so first one is the ribose sugar. So in the ribose, all the hydroxyl group would be on the right side, right? Okay, the next one is arabinose. In the arabinose, the hydroxyl group on the second carbon turn to the left side. Okay, now in the third sugar, in the xylose sugar, the hydroxyl group on the third carbon on the left side. So in the ribose sugars, all the hydroxyl group on the right side. In the arabinose, the hydroxyl group on the second carbon is on the left side. In the xylose, the hydroxyl group on the third carbon is at the left side. And last, in the lysose sugar, the second and third hydroxyl group on the left side. Okay, so how to remember all these structures? So there is a trick. Okay, first you have to remember all the name. So RAXL, this is the short form, RAXL. So R ribose, A arabinose, X xylose, and L lysose. So we know that in the ribose there is no hydroxyl group present on the left side. Okay, so all the hydroxyl group would be on the right side, so 0. Okay, now in the arabinose, the hydroxyl group on the second carbon is at the left side. In the xylose sugar, the hydroxyl group at the third carbon is on the left side, right? In the lysose sugar, the hydroxyl group on the second and third carbon are on the left side. So 0, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, 0 because there is no hydroxyl group on the left side in the ribose sugar. In the arabinose, the second hydroxyl group on the left side. In the xylose, third hydroxyl group on the left side. And in the lysose, second and third hydroxyl group on the left side. So that's how you can remember all these structures. So we have completed the aldotriose, aldotetrose, and aldopentose sugar, right? And now we are going to look at the aldohexose sugars. So hexose meaning the total number of carbon would be 6, and 6 minus 2 would be 4, which is N meaning the number of chiral carbons present. So according to 2 raised to n rule, 2 raised to 4 is the number of chiral carbons present. So 2 raised to 4 would be 16. So there are 16 stereoisomers present of the aldohexose. So the first one is D-allose. You have to remember all the name: allose, altrose, glucose, mannose, gulose, iodose, galactose, and talose, right? So first one is allose. Again we are only going to look at the D forms. You have to do L forms by yourself. L forms are just mirror images of that, right? So here only 8 forms are present. Other 8 will be the L forms of each sugar. So D-allose, L-allose, right, the same way. Okay, so first molecule is D-allose. In the D-allose, all the hydroxyl group is on the right side. Okay, we have to learn all the structures by heart, right? We have to remember all the names, all the structures, okay, number of chiral carbons present, etc. Okay, so in the allose sugar, all the hydroxyl group is present on the right side. Okay, next, in the altrose sugar, the second hydroxyl group is on the left side. Okay, in the third molecule, the molecule of glucose, the third hydroxyl group is on the left side. Okay, in the mannose sugar, the second and third hydroxyl group present on the left side. Till now it is the repetition that what we are seeing just in the pentose sugar, right? 0, 2, 3, 2, 3, right? Okay, so in allose all the hydroxyl group is at the right side. In allose, in altrose, the second hydroxyl group is on the left side. In the third glucose molecule, the third hydroxyl group is on the left side. And in the mannose sugar, the second and third hydroxyl group is at the left side, right? So next molecule is gulose. So D-gulose. Okay, in gulose, The fourth molecule, fourth hydroxyl group is present on the left side. Okay, in the iodose molecule, the second and fourth hydroxyl group is present on the left side. Okay, so in the glucose molecule, the fourth hydroxyl present on the left side. In the iodose molecule, second and fourth hydroxyl group present on the left side. In the next one, in the D-galactose, the third and fourth hydroxyl group is present on the left side, and in the last one, tellose, all the hydroxyl group will present on the left side. Okay, so how you can remember that again? So we have again the shortcut trick. So here AAGMGIGT. Okay, this is the short form. So A for allose, altrose, glucose, mannose, gulose, iodose, galactose and tellose. Okay, so that's how you can make the short form AAGMGIGT. Right. So we know that in the allose, the first one, there are no hydroxyl group present on the left side, so 0. This is the trick to remember all the structures and name. Okay, so and here you have to only concentrate on the hydroxyl group that are present on the left side. All other things will remain the same. So if you remember the hydroxyl group present on the left side, all the structures you can remember easily, right? So in allose sugar, the 0 number of hydroxyl group present on the left side, so all the hydroxyl group is at the right side. Okay, in the altrose, the hydroxyl group on the second carbon present at the left side. Okay, in the glucose, the third hydroxyl group present at the left side. In the mannose, second and third hydroxyl group present at the left side. In the gulose, fourth hydroxyl group present at the left side. In the iodose, second and fourth hydroxyl group will be at the left side. In the galactose, third and fourth hydroxyl group at the left side. And in the tellose, second, third and fourth hydroxyl group at the left side. So that's how you can remember all the structures. Okay, and you have to make the short form AAGMGIGT. Allose, altrose, glucose, mannose, gulose, iodose, galactose and tellose. Okay, so you can now we just study the D forms. You can also make the L forms. L forms are just mirror images of that. Okay, so here we completed the aldose sugar. We studied aldotriose, aldotetrose, aldopentose and aldohexose. Okay, these are 4 classes of aldose sugar. Now we are going to look at the ketose sugar. Okay, similarly here there are 4 classes: ketotriose, ketotetrose, ketopentose, ketohexose. In the ketotriose, the total number of carbon would be 3. In the ketotetrose, the total number of carbon would be 4. In the ketopentose, the number of carbons are 5. In ketohexose, the number of carbons is 6. Okay, so first we are going to look at the ketotriose molecule. So here the total number of carbon would be 3. Ketose sugar, you have to minus 3 from the total number of carbons present. So in the ketotriose form, 3 minus 3 would be 0. 3 minus 3 because the total number of carbon is 3, and we have to minus 3 because the first and last would be CH2OH, so of course there is no chiral carbon, and on the second carbon the functional group is there, so C double bond O is there, ketone group is there. Okay, but in the ketotetrose form, the number of chiral carbons are 1. Why? Because the total number of carbon would be 4 and 4 minus 3 would be 1. So there is 1 chiral carbon present in the ketotetrose. Similarly, in the ketopentose, pentose meaning total 5 carbons are there, and 5 minus 3 would be 2. So here in the ketopentose, 2 number of chiral carbons are there. Okay, so in the keto triose form, 2 raised to n or 2 raised to 0 is equal to 1. Why 0? Because there are no chiral carbons present in the keto triose form. Okay, so first sugar that we are going to look at is dihydroxyacetone. Okay, so dihydroxyacetone has 0 chiral carbons on the structure, so only one form is there. So there are no D forms and L forms of that, right? Dihydroxyacetone phosphate is the simplest ketose sugar and only exists in one form. There are no stereoisomers present. Okay. Then we are going to look at the keto tetrose sugar. In the keto tetrose, total number of carbon would be 4. 4 minus 3 would be 1. So 1 chiral carbon is there. So according to 2 raised to n rule, 2 raised to 1 is equal to 2. So there are 2 forms present. So first is D-erythrulose. Okay, we are going to use ulose suffix. Okay, so in the aldose sugar there are erythrose and threose. Here there are no threose because only one chiral carbons are there, so only erythrose. But here instead of erythrose we are using erythrulose. Okay, similarly in the pentose sugar, the ribose and xylose were there in the aldose form, right? But here we are going to use suffix ulose. Okay, so ribulose, xylulose. Okay, so erythrulose, ribulose, xylulose. Okay, right. Then in the D-erythrulose form, the hydroxyl group is at the right side on the third carbon. So if we going to look at the L form, the hydroxyl group will be present at the left side because L form is mirror image of D form. Right, so now we are going to look at ketopentose sugar. So in the ketopentose sugar, 5 minus 3 would be 2. So 2 number of chiral carbons are there. So 2 raised to 2 would be 4. So total 4 number of chiral carbons are 4 numbers of stereoisomers are present. So on the first one, ribulose, all the hydroxyl group will be present at the right side. So no hydroxyl group is at the left side. Okay, in the xylulose, the third hydroxyl group present at the left side. So in the aldose, the hydroxyl group that are present on left number would be starting from the second carbon, but here in the second carbon there is a functional group which is ketone. So we are starting from the third molecule, right? So here in the xylulose sugar, the third hydroxyl group present at the left side. Okay, so now we are completing the keto triose, keto tetrose and ketopentose sugar, and now we are going to look at the keto hexose sugar. So according to the name, the hexose meaning total number of carbon would be 6, right? So 6 minus 3 would be 3. So there are 3 number of chiral carbons present. So according to 2 raised to n rule, n meaning the chiral carbon, to 2 raised to 3 would be 8. So there are 8 number of stereoisomers present. Okay, so first one is the deep psychose. In the deep psychose, all the hydroxyl group present on the right side. Okay, in the deep fructose, the third carbon is present at the the third hydroxyl group present at the left side. In the sorbose, the fourth hydroxyl group present at the left side, and in the tagatose, third and fourth hydroxyl group is at the left side. Again, in the psychose sugar, all the hydroxyl group present at the right side. In the fructose, third hydroxyl group present at the left side. In the sorbose, fourth hydroxyl group present at the left side, and in the tagatose, third and fourth present at the left side. Okay. So according to trick, we have a short form PFST, meaning psychose, fructose, sorbose and tagatose. As we all know, in the psychose, there are no hydroxyl group present at the left side. On the fructose, third hydroxyl group is present at the left side. In the sorbose, fourth hydroxyl group is present at the left side. And in the tagatose, third and fourth hydroxyl group is present at the left side. So that's how we can remember all the ketohexose. Okay. Thanks for watching the video, and our next topic will be the reactions of monosaccharides. Okay, so make sure to tune in to all of that, and if you somehow miss the former lectures, make sure to watch all the videos by series. Okay, then you are going to understand easily and better. Okay. If you like the video, then make sure to subscribe to the Biochem B channel, like the video and turn on the notification, and also share with your friends. Thank you.